All right. Um, so, this is not a song video, but I did get a guitar because I left my guitar out with my sister when she was visiting because I left early and her friends were still there. So I left my old broken one. It's just a kid's guitar we got at Ross, but my girlfriend had the real guitar that I got her for her birthday, and she took it with her because she's actually a really good musician. And so I need another guitar, and also because I want to fix that one up a little bit. It has a little broken gear on it. And I have a string, but it's missing a peg. And I just want to have a new one. Probably going to do some redo. I want to redo the Professor Anton song. That's not what this is about. Okay, there's a little musical gig for people. Alright, now here's the thing. It's a little bit personal. Because this is really happening. This is me accepting the crazy side of being introspective. Like I see this thought going on, and the only difference between me and somebody going, hey, this is the reality, everybody listen, it's going on this way. Magic creatures, I saw a dragon. That's what it's been about. Okay. I know it's just cognitive, it's a metaphor, but I think it's me communicating with my subconscious. And today I woke up after a series of psychological events, let's say dream events or whatever. Dream events. Okay, that's the wrong term for it, but okay, one of them was a dream-ish thing. Okay, anyway, I had no urge to smoke a cigarette, or actually, I had a will to overcome that urge. Because I like a cigarette in the morning. Usually, if I finish with cigarettes at night, when I wake up, I'll go start coffee, go get cigarettes, come back and smoke one. And so I know this kind of urge, and many times when I've been waking up, and maybe if I, I'm like, can you feel that morning, like, my lungs would be clear if I did. I used to really like in the morning taking the first, deep breaths and then not going, And it's not always that bad, but, this is the kind of thing I'll go, I obviously don't want to smoke, I'll never smoke again, and wake up and go do what I just said. But, okay, here's what led up to that. I also didn't drink, which, I don't drink every day, but for, a couple of years I've drunk like every weekend. And then I was in the pool league. I drink every Wednesday a little bit. And and then I had a pool night when I have my pool table. People come over every Tuesday, but then dropped off Wednesday, but still shifting around. But I've been drinking every day for a few weeks. Various things, culminations and whatnot. And partly just because I was finding it hard to moderate. It's easier for me to skip a day with alcohol, it's not hard, than it is to do what I used to do, which is just limit myself better. If I am starting to play around with music, and I'm having my first drink, and it's like 10 or 11 because I've been programming, or even later, because I can't drink and accomplish programming. It's just like one or two drinks would be great, but I just keep playing, you keep filling up, And then there's techniques I found, like, I don't really care if I'm still drinking alcohol, it becomes this habit. But if I just remember, don't add vodka. And then later when I'm drinking, I don't even notice if there is or isn't. It's just, you get used to having a drink. So that's an easy one. But cigarettes, and even my attitude towards that was different. And I woke up really strong feeling. Okay, so here's what happened. A couple weeks ago, I was meditating. I've been going through a big transition of, I moved, and I broke up with my girlfriend that I was with for 5 years. And I'm just thinking things through and whatnot. And like I've been saying, I've been making sure that I meditate more. And by meditation, I mean my own versions of meditative techniques that I developed. In this case, I was just, sitting there cross-legged, breathing, focusing on my breathing and whatever goes through. I don't try to empty my brain. What you do is just, what I do in this general one is just You know, it's just a generic meditation. You let the ideas come, and as you relax and don't judge, just watch, and don't even watch too closely if it gets to interfere. Don't inspect even. Just sort of let yourself flow along in the shape of whatever the ideas are, and it's kind of hard, you know, all kinds of ideas are coming in, and that's the point. And it's like shorting out the static electricity after you do it a while, then all that's left is some sort of a hum, or a void nothingness, and you don't really think of anything, or an emotion, a feeling, or maybe you just focus on the breathing fully, and that's, you hear the wind, you know. Okay. Yeah, this is me not having drunk at all. And it's only 11:39, but I did make but I have been drinking shitloads of coffee, and I just made that song. Okay. I've been really hyper all day. It's almost like having a lucid dream. This is actually more powerful than when I had those lucid dreams. Okay. So I was just meditating and letting myself have kind of a daydream, and it's like a lucid dream. You know, and I don't decide what's going to go on in the lucid dreams I've had, but, you know, it's more like the world's happening on its own still, you know. It's just that I'm awake in it, and I know that it's the rules of the dream world, you know, whatever those are or aren't. And I had this vision that I was standing on a green plain, and, you know, I was just imagining California foothills, basically, and it was kind of level with the rolling hills, but, you know, on a level plain and scrub oak and stuff, and, you know, granite, and it just starts to build up. You know, and I'm having to jump from rock to rock, and the boulders are turning, and it's just like, and then as it gets bigger and bigger, I notice it's more like geological time. Something's going weird with geological time, because, you know, I'm having to jump around like it's coming up in real time, but then a little basin will show, and it will form, you know, and a waterfall, and the plants will like all sprout, trees sprout up instantly, you know. So it's like, you know, I'm fast forwarding. I'm having to jump for things that in real time are just going really slowly. You know, this mountain's being moved like this, but I'm having to jump from thing to thing. When things fall over and crush something else, then it sprouts up around the plant, so that the mountain is staying green as it builds up, right? Fading in and out. And then this is, and I'm just watching that part. And then it gets to this peak, and it reminds me of Harney Peak in South Dakota, this highest point in the Black Mountains that I ran up to when I was there. And it's like, it's incredible. They say you can see all the way to Colorado when it's clear, but you can easily see 50 miles away. And you're way up there. It's really beautiful. And the amazing thing about it is there's a spring up there. So you're to the highest point of anywhere, all the way to the Alps in one direction, and not quite as far to the Rockies in another direction, but still really high. And it's that artesian well thing. Somehow it just pushes that water higher than, it's amazing. But it's really cool. And they built a fire watch station up there. They used to live, it's like a 2-bedroom apartment. Nobody lives there now, but it's, you know, with the fireplace and stuff. And it's just so cool. And you got the running water right at the top. It's such a magical place. And it's the center of the Black Hills. And the Black Hills is a totally, like, religious place. I went there, and I was blown away, like, by the energy of it. Just the land. It's just a circular, pushed up, just, it's amazing. And this is Harney Peaks right there, so okay. And so in my vision, it was like that. And then it was pretty lucid. I was like, oh, this is a neat daydream. And I saw that this little, the pool at the top of my mountain, it looked nothing like Harney Peak, which is a big rocks right at the top. And this was more like there was a meadow at the top and a little, like it almost looked like a hot spring color type little pool, but it wasn't hot. And I thought, oh, I should go sit in that pool, because, you know, in the Harney Peak thing, I'm like, that something, you know, sort of mystical, special about that kind of pool. And it wasn't a pool, but there's a little creek coming out up there. Was there a pool? I don't know. Anyway, I don't remember that. But in this vision, there was a little pool that looked a lot like a hot spring pool might look a little, but it wasn't hot. And I thought, oh, I should go sit in there. and I went to bathe in there, kind of, and the mountain kept growing, and I got trapped by these other boulders, and it was compressed into an egg, and I was compressed into a yolk, and it became a dragon's egg, embedded in the mountain. So I've been thinking about that a lot, and about how it might hatch and stuff. And then I had this idea of a method of not a method, but like like a realistic dragon mythology. Not realistic, but realistic, like Anne Rice made a realistic vampire. You do it more, but not really realistic. Where the eggs. The dragons are laid way down deep in the earth, and they take 1 million years to come up. And they push mountains up. And that's why you have mountains. Like a mythology. And so I've been thinking about that. And then, so I got a guitar yesterday. I talked to my neighbor about the guy that used to live in this house. He passed away here. He's 101 years old. And then I'm having all these apathenic things, like schizophrenics will have, like, my house is yellow. The color of the dragon is yellow. And was yellow. And because as I'm meditating, I keep having these visions, and it's long since become impossible to tell how much they're coming unbidden and how much they're lucid, and I'm provoking them. I'm constructing them. I looked up these things and I thought it would be this kind of a dragon or that, and then I looked up dragons and I really liked the idea of dragons and and European dragons, but then in my vision, it's an Asian style, and my house was yellow and it's yellow and all this stuff. So noticing all these coincidences, but I know it's just the brain does this. It's apophenia, but then it's personal meaning. And like I said, you can't really find meaning in the noise. That noise dissolves meaning, but there's something besides noise that's random that has meaning in it for individuals. Okay. So then, come to last night, I'm making that song, and I'm thinking of the lyrics based on this idea I had, and I didn't want to make it a story, but in song form, So I just made some vagues, and I'm thinking about it. Okay. And I go to sleep thinking about this again, but like I say, I have been the last few weeks thinking about this a lot, this metaphor, and how does the dragon, when it hatches, how does it come, and I've thought about this idea of, well, maybe the lava pushes it out. Maybe it rides the lava up, and the lava breaks out, and then the egg is fertilized. The dragon eggs would be like serotinous seeds that need to be in the lava to fertilize and then come up to the air, and then they'll crack open. And that's why it takes millions of years until the lava eventually pushes the dragon egg up. And so I use that in the song. Then as I went to sleep, I just had that in mind, and I had an emotional thought for a dream. It was no words, but it was sort of a strong kinds of, not even strong, but just attitudes. And I just remembered a series of attitudes, and as it worked towards morning, I had this attitude I've had before of that didn't work, or the kind of an attitude of, I shouldn't get cigarettes today. I'm done with cigarettes. Because sometimes I have to get up earlier than I want to, just because it's like, it's not that fun to breathe right now. If I get up and just go, because it makes mucus in your lungs. It's terrible. So I was having these kinds of thoughts, only instead of them being futile and pathetic, I could feel that, no, it was going to work. And I thought, that's when I saw this yellow dragon, or the spirit of the guy that lived here or something, had come, and it's not a possession. It's like when a spirit comes and becomes an assistant spirit, but in like my emotional center of surety, And I just thought, you know what? And I didn't say the same things to me of like, oh, dude, I shouldn't get. I just sort of, again, verbalessly went through this and felt, I'm not gonna, I don't need cigarettes. And I felt that what I should do is spend all day visualizing myself with the yellow dragon body, hatching and trying to stretch out wings, or if I don't have wings, or what. And then I looked up, different kinds of dragons and stuff, and I was thinking of making a Western dragon, and I'm thinking again, I'm having conversations with the spirit that has possessed me. And I know it's just my subconscious. So, I'm at a point where I can actually listen, and it's not going to drive me mad. I understand what it is, right? And so, he's telling me it's not this kind of dragon because, the European dragon can't fly the right kind of way. Because this is the serpentine dragon. And then I realized that I have these ideas of how the cursor of the brain works. Like, what I mean by that is like, you close your eyes and ask, where are you? Where are you? Your pinpoint location, not the shape of your body. Where's your pinpoint location focus? And if you think of it, you'll end up putting it somewhere. There is a pinpoint, but there's also a sphere space. We have all these shapes of cursors, basically. You have a spatial shape of a cursor, right? And that was sort of like, oh, that thing is the dragon. That's why it can go out in all these semi-magic ways and encapsulate and, like seem spiritual because you use it for your thinking. And, that's not at all what I believe cognitively, but I saw the link up between that and all these things, and so the psychology and all the metaphysical. Of course, it's almost as if to use these metaphors, though, you have to take seriously that, hey, there really is a ghost to this guy, and he is telling me things. And it's conversational. I'm not inventing what he's saying in any conscious way. It might be coming from neurons that are in the same brain that I'm in, but somehow it's, I just hear about it later. And this seems like a method for communicating with your subconscious. And you guys could say, well, it's not real, though. But I haven't smoked any cigarettes today. I had all kinds of urges. I mean, I've tried to do this plenty of times. And today wasn't even a struggle. When it happened, I could just, various techniques, just imagining these figures and imagining the dragon. Like I have a dragon body and watching the dragon fly, and this totally distracted me from having to go get cigarettes. I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, and a couple days ago I was thinking, I should quit. I'll just get it and I'll try to smoke real small. I smoked a pack, right? It's like there's no. And right now, okay. Oh, I feel like cigarette. No. I feel pretty past it. Now, I got to tell you, I wanted to make this video today because I don't necessarily think it'll last tomorrow. I mean, I got to go to sleep again. Who knows what happens tonight? The spirit goes, okay, that was one day showing you could do it. Now you're on your own. Who knows? I hope not. I'm going to go to bed trying to do the things I think that'll keep this thing in mind, so the visualization continues to the next step, and I find out what is next. And that I keep the strength to, I don't know, it was almost, I hate to say it, knock on wood, but it was easy. Now, John Paul Dorn, if you say good luck, I'm not kidding, I'll block you if you say that. Okay, cheers.